Good morning all of you. Welcome to another session of Elective Accounting 3. In the last session we have discussed example number 5 with the new method in which firstly we have calculated the value of goodwill and then we have found out the value of share. Today also we are going to calculate the same example like that. Alright, but before starting with this example number 6, let me tell you one thing. There is a minor correction in the amount in the previous example. Instead of 13 lakhs in the question, we have to take equity share capital 50 lakhs, 50. Alright, so make this correction. I also have sent the message in our WhatsApp group. So consider 50 lakhs the equity shareholders, right? Equity share capital, sorry. Now moving towards example number 6. The balance sheet of CM Limited is given, right? So preference shares 4 lakhs, equity share capital of rupees 10 each, 2 lakhs, debentures 2 lakhs, general reserve 8 lakhs, current liabilities 1 lakh, outstanding interest and dividend 1 lakh, and depreciation fund on machine 2 lakhs. On the asset side we have land and building, machinery, government security, which is our non-trading investment, stock, data, cash and preliminary expense. The total of balance sheet comes to 20 lakhs. Additional information, the first one, book value of just a second guys. Okay. The book value of land and building is 20% more than the market price. Then the market price of machine is 20% more than book value. The company's profit after tax at 50% for the last 3 years is 1 lakh, 1,60,000 and 2 lakhs respectively. The expected rate of return is 30%. The value of company's goodwill has been ascertained at 2 years purchase of this super profit. From the above information, ascertain fair value of equity share of the company. The example was asked in Gujarat University April 2012 and the example courtesy from B.S. Shah Prakashan. Right? So firstly, we have to calculate the valuation of goodwill first and then we can move forward with the valuation of share. But before the same, we need to calculate the value of land and building or the value of the market value of land and building, right? So firstly, land and building. So here it is said book value of land and building is 20% more than market price. Okay, so firstly, as the depreciation fund on machinery is given, so book value of land and building is taken directly at 6 lakhs. So suppose market value is 100. So what is said here? Book value is 20% more than market price. So by adding 20% to your market value, we get our book value 120. Alright, as the market value is not given, we have assumed to be 100. Book value is 20% more than market value. So by adding 20% to the market value, we get our book value. So if book value is 120, then market value is 100. Then if the book value is 6 lakhs, what will be the market value? So the market value will be 5 lakhs rupees. Right? This is the calculation of market value of land and building. Likewise, we also have to calculate the market price of machine. So here it is said market price of machine is 25% more than book value. So firstly we need to calculate book value of machine and then we can go with the market price. So depreciation fund on machine is given. So cost price of machine is given at the asset side, or asset side whatever value is given, that is 6 lakhs. That is the cost price of machine. By deducting depreciation fund from same 2 lakhs, we get book value of machine, right? And by adding 25% to the book value, that is 1 lakh, we get the market price of machinery, that is 5 lakhs, right? So in short, market value of land and building is also 5 lakhs and market value of machine is also 5 lakhs. In both the cases, the adjustments given is different. Here book value is more than the market value and here market value is more than the book value. Alright, so accordingly we have to calculate. This calculation is not new for us. We did this calculation many a times in our previous examples of valuation of shares as well as valuation of goodwill, right? Now we can move further with the calculation of capital employed first. So step number 1, capital employed. You can take the sequence of balance sheet so that no any items are left to be written. So starting with total assets, that is land and building 5 lakhs, then machine 5 lakhs, then 10% government security. Guys, right now we are doing the calculation of valuation of goodwill. So at that point of time, all the rules related with the goodwill is going to be applied. So at the time of calculation goodwill, while we are calculating capital employed, we are not considering the non-trading investment. It means non-trading investment will not be added here. Alright, it will not be considered over here. So we are not writing 10% government security here because we are calculating the goodwill. So next, stock. Stock is 2 lakhs. Next, debtors. Direct amount 3 lakhs. Then cash. Cash is 1 lakh. And the last item, that is preliminary expenses, that is our fictitious asset, so that is not going to be considered, right? So the total of asset will be 16 lakhs. So I am just writing this total over here, 16 lakhs. Alright. Now we need to deduct total liabilities from the same. So starting with 10% debentures, you need to keep the question in front of you whenever you are calculating the solution. So 10% debentures 2 lakhs. Then current liabilities 1 lakh. Then outstanding interest and dividend, that is also 1 lakh. So total of all those is 4 lakhs. So now 16 lakhs minus 4 lakhs, so that is 12 lakhs, right? But we need to deduct preference share capital also from this. So less preference share capital, that is 4 lakhs. So my capital employed will be 8 lakhs. Okay. So this is the whole calculation of capital employed, land and building, machine, stock, debtors, cash. In short, we are not going to consider government security because this is non-trading investment. Fine. Moving further with the second step, that is expected profit. So formula, capital employed into expected rate of return. Okay, so my capital employed was 8 lakhs rupees and expected rate of return is 30%, right? So my expected profit comes to 2,40,000 rupees, right? So this is my second step. Third step, that is average profit. See, here I am writing the word average profit because in the last example average profit was directly given, so just we need to make the adjustments in that. So directly we have taken the word average adjusted profit, right? But here the average profit of last 3 years are given separately. So firstly, total profit of last 3 years are given, right? Year 1, 2, 3 respectively, that is 1 lakh, 1,60,000 and 2 lakhs. So firstly we need to calculate average profit and then we'll move towards average adjusted profit, right? So I am writing here year and profit. So year 1, 2 and 3, profit 1 lakh, 1,60,000 and 2 lakhs. See girls, look at the range, look at the increase, 1 lakh, then 1,60,000 and 2 lakhs. As the profit is in increasing trend, what was our rule? Do you remember girls? Whenever the profit is in growth trend, we need to calculate or we need to provide weights to them. So here there would be weighted average profit as the profit shows constant growth, continuous growth trend. 1 lakh, 1,60,000 and 2 lakhs. So profit is increasing every year, so we need to assign weight. Alright, for example, it is 1,40,000 here, so weight won't be assigned because there is a fluctuation. Firstly increased and then decreased, but here profit shows increasing trend, right? So we need to assign the weight, though it is not given in the example, we have to assign the weight. So that is weighted profit. So now weighted profit will be 1 lakh into 1 means 1 lakh, 1,60,000 into 2, 3,20,000, right? And 2 lakhs into 3, 6 lakhs. So the total is 10,20,000 and total of weights is 6. So now my weighted profit will be total weighted profit, weighted average profit, weighted average profit formula is total weighted profit divided by total weight. Total weights, so total of weight, total number of weights nahi. If I am talking about total number of weights, then that is 3 weights, but I need some total of weights, means 3 plus 2 plus 1. So 10,20,000 divided by 6. So my weighted average profit is 1,70,000 rupees. Alright, so average profit is 1,70,000. Now next, average adjusted profit. Look at the example. The given profit is before tax, right? So first, given profit is after tax. Look at your adjustment number 3. The company's profit after tax. So weighted average profit into bracket after tax is 1,70,000, right? See here government security is given of rupees 1 lakh. As we have not considered that in our capital employed, the income received from this same has to be excluded from this profit as well, right? So as it is after tax, so interest on government security will be 1 lakh into 10%, so that will be 10,000. And as the profit after tax is there, we need to assume that the interest is taxable, right? All these details, all these rules I have already explained you, and we also have used in many of the examples, right? So less tax 50%, so tax will be 5,000, and then remaining income of 5,000 should be excluded from this. So my profit left is 1,65,000. Now from the same I have to provide preference share capital dividend. So preference share dividend, the preference shares are given in the example 4 lakhs and percentage of dividend are 12%. So 48,000. So 1,65,000 minus 48, that comes to 1,17,000, 117,000. So this represents my average adjusted profit. Okay. Now next, fifth, super profit. So formula, average adjusted profit minus expected profit, right? So average adjusted profit is 1,17,000 that we have calculated right now itself, and expected profit is 2,40,000. So guys, for the first time we have the negative super profit, negative 1,23,000. Your expected profit is more than the actual average adjusted profit, so super profit will be negative, right? So whenever the super profit is negative, it means the expected profit is more than the actual profit, or vice versa, actual profit is less than the expected profit. So whenever the shareholders are not getting more amount than the expected profit, there will be no super profit, right? So this super profit will be considered as zero, and therefore goodwill will be zero, right? So here there is no value of goodwill, so here value of goodwill will be 0, as super profit is negative. So it is not a super profit, it may be considered as a loss, right? Not actual loss, but the amount of weighted average adjusted profit is less than the expected profit. Alright, so the value of goodwill tends to be 0 over here, right? Okay, now moving towards B section, that is valuation of share. Don't worry guys, એવું નહીં વિચારતા કે આટલી બધી મહેનત કરીને આટલા બધા કેલ્ક્યુલેશન કરવા છતાં બી ગુડવિલની વેલ્યુ 0 છે. This calculation will use somewhere or the other way here. So now shortcut method to find out net asset at the time of intrinsic value. So firstly net asset, right? So shortcut method, capital employed as per valuation of goodwill, that was 8 lakhs. Then generally we take new value of goodwill, but here goodwill will be 0. Plus we have not considered non-trading investment, that is government security, at the time of calculation of goodwill, but we need to take this right here. So 10% government security, that is 1 lakh. शेरहोल्डर्स ने इनकम गमे ત્યાંથી આવે એ બધી ઇનકમ શેરહોલ્ડર્સ ને ટ્રાન્સફર થશે. So whether it is trading investment or non-trading investment doesn't go with them, or there is no that doesn't make any difference to them, right? તો બધા ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ્સ અહીંયા લઈ લેવાના હોય. તો કેપિટલ એમ્પ્લોયડ તો 8 lakhs છે જ, પ્લસ ગુડવિલ પ્લસ 10% ગવર્મેન્ટ સિક્યોરિટી. This is the shortcut method. Actual method is you need to start from land and building up to cash, and goodwill will be 0. So the same technique would be followed here. So this is the shortcut method. So finally my net asset will be 9 lakhs, right? Okay, now formula of intrinsic value. So intrinsic value of share equals to net asset divided by number of equity shares. Guys, don't forget here number of only equity shares should be considered. Look at your example. Equity share of rupees 10 each fully paid. So 2 lakhs divided by 10. So number of equity shares will be 20,000. So net asset 9 lakhs divided by 20,000. So the product will be 45 rupees. So intrinsic value of the share is 45 rupees, right? So this is the first calculation, intrinsic value. Now moving towards the second value, that is yield value. Under that also, firstly we need percentage of dividend, right? So for that we need divisible profit. So we need to find out divisible profit. So for that purpose we also have a shortcut. We have average adjusted profit, which was 1,17,000, right? We need to add back the interest on government security that we have deducted previously. So finally my divisible profit will be 1,22,000, right? So this is my divisible profit. Let me check it once again. The profit was 1,70,000. Okay. Another method. We have weighted average profit of rupees, this one, 1,70,000. This was after tax. So there is no need to deduct tax, right? Directly only preference share dividend has to be deducted, 48,000, and we get our divisible profit 1,22,000. $1,22,000. Okay, so any of these method can be taken. So now percentage of dividend formula, divisible profit divided by equity share capital into 100. So 1,22,000 divided by 2 lakhs into 100. So the answer will be 61%. This is the answer, 61%, right? And now yield value, rate of dividend or percentage of dividend divided by expected rate of return into paid up value per share. Okay, so that is 61% of dividend, expected rate 30, and paid up value per share 10 rupees, 10 rupees per share. So my answer is 20.33 rupees, right? My intrinsic value was 45 and my yield value is 20.33. And the last one, third one, fair value. So formula, intrinsic value plus yield value divided by 2. So intrinsic value is 45, yield value is 20.33 divided by 2. So my value will be 45 plus 20.33 divided by 2, 32.665 rupees. So this is the answer, final answer of my example, that is 32.665. So let me change the focus and show you the whole example, full example, starting with the first page, valuation of goodwill. We have started with the calculation of market value of land and building 5 lakhs, then market value of machine again 5 lakhs, right? Market value of land and building 5 lakhs, then market value of machine 5 lakhs. Then we have placed these two things in the calculation of capital employed, land and building 5 lakhs, machinery 5 lakhs. We have excluded government security. We have not taken into consideration the government security because it is non-trading investment, right? And as per our rules, non-trading investments are not going to be considered in the calculation of capital employed while we are calculating the value of goodwill, right? Then stock, debtors and cash without any adjustments. So the total of assets are 16 lakhs. Then by deducting total liabilities, that is debentures, current liabilities and outstanding interest and dividend, total 4 lakhs, we get the amount 12 lakhs. And by deducting preference shares capital 4 lakhs from the same, we get our net capital employed rupees 8 lakhs. Okay. Next, you can have the screenshot if you wish. I am just focusing it. Okay, next, the second step, expected profit. Then average profit weights should be assigned, right? Then average adjusted profit. Next, super profit negative 123, so the goodwill will be 0. Then portion B, valuation of share. So the first, intrinsic value, for that we need net asset. So we have used shortcut method of net asset. Directly we have added government security to the capital employed, right? So this is the shortcut method. the long method or actual method will be, you need to start from land and building, machine, government security, stock, debtors, cash, add all of them, and if there is a positive goodwill, add goodwill as well, right? Then deduct current liability, total liabilities from the same, and preference share capital, you get your net asset. પણ actual સેન્સમાં જોવા જાઓ તો એટલું લેન્ધી ન કરાય, બધી વસ્તુ આપણે આગળ કરી જ લીધી છે, તો એ રિપીટ કરવાની જરૂર નથી, રાઈટ? ડિરેક્ટલી તમે આ શોર્ટકટ મેથડ યુઝ કરી શકો છો. ધીસ ઇઝ ઓથેન્ટિક એન્ડ ઇટ ઇઝ યુઝડ ફોર ધ એક્ઝામિનેશન પર્પઝ એઝ વેલ. So now intrinsic value, net asset divided by number of equity share. We can find out the number of equity share by dividing equity share capital with face value per share. So in our case 2 lakhs divided by 10, so number of equity shares are 20,000. So my intrinsic value of share is 45 rupees, right? Next page. Then we have calculated yield value. So for the yield valuation we need divisible profit, right? So I have shown you two techniques of divisible profit. Either you can add back the interest of government security to the average adjusted profit, or you can deduct only preferential dividend from our weighted average profit after tax. You will be able to understand these two things very well if you have understood the tables very well that I have given you in the PPT, right? So just revise this again and then go with this. Then for the yield value, first formula, percentage of dividend divisible profit upon equity share capital, right? So that is 61%. Interpretation of this, if the company is earning 1,22,000 on the capital of 2 lakhs, so the dividend will be 61% on the equity capital employed or equity capital invested. Then calculation of yield value, percentage of dividend upon expected rate of return into paid up value per share. So that is 20.33 rupees. My yield value is 20.33 rupees. And fair value, by adding intrinsic value and yield value, we get 32.665. Alright. So this is our example, almost like our previous example, with the only one difference. In the previous examples government security was not given, and here government security, which is our non-trading investment, which is given. Second difference, in the previous example directly average profit was given of the last 3 years together, and here the profit of 3 years are given separately. We have found out average profit by providing the weights, because the profit was there in the growth trend, and then we have calculated average adjusted profit. So current example differs from the previous example in two ways. The first is government security, and the second one as our profit, right? So now you just need to do one thing, compare these two examples and go through both the examples simultaneously. You can get the difference and you can get the method as well, right? So do not forget to write all these things in your notebook, girls. This is our 6th example. We are going to solve our 7th example in the next session. Till then, do one thing, or remember one thing, the name of the examples are same. Example number 6 and example number 7, right? So by number and balance sheet total you can memorize the example. Alright, so write this down in your notebook, guys. Thank you all so much.